And we welcome those of you who are watching Northwestern finish off UIC with Jess Settles. I'm Kevin Kugler. South Dakota with the early 1-0 lead. Clearly you've missed a lot in these first 30 seconds. One free throw from Dubuque native Cameron Fens to give the Coyotes of South Dakota the early lead. Brock Harding will go to work. The skip pass into the corner, and Josh Dix for three.
Yeah, that's a great sign for Hawkeye fans. There might have been a window opener on that shot, Kevin.
Boy, goodness. He barely hit the window on the glass. 3 for 15 on the season for Stewart from 3. Good patience inside, and Brock Harding will get a chance for one more at the line.
Well, Brock Harding, one of the major X factors early in this season, and he's got to continue to play like this. There's the old pump faking power. He does it.
This Iowa team is a team that over the years has prided itself on assist-to-turnover ratio. Consistently one of the best in the country in assist-to-turnover ratio. Of course, all the years with Connor McCaffrey running the helm, that was a strength of his for sure.
Well, Connor McCaffrey was the best post passer in the country for those 6, 7, 8 years. I don't know how many years he was here. But
you shy of you.
There you go. One of the elite passers in college basketball for sure.
Rebound for Ashton Smith. His follow won't fall, and it's picked out of there by Dre Bullock.
Well, Ashton Smith has a Big Ten body.
That three rolls off from Isaac Bruggs. Long pass ahead to Josh Dix. Dix against Bruggs off the window. (7-3) start for the Hawkeyes. 3 for 6 from the floor. Been a struggle so far offensively for South Dakota, but Bruggs getting to the rim will help. Long pass ahead. They break the pressure. Dix trying to save it in the turnover corner. Can't get that to go, but Dembele there. His cleanup won't go, and the rebound Bullock. Neither team finding the range right now. That's an easy 2 for Ashton Smith. Good find from Max Burchill.
Well, Ashton Smith played at Texas A&M a little bit, then transferred to Oral Roberts, one of those journeymen. But you can see he has a power 5 body, and if you give him open spots around the rim, he's going to make you pay. And Josh Dix will make you pay. That's the real Josh Dix. Those open threes, spreading that defense out, and you keep your eye on number 4. He'll come down and play lockdown defense at this end as well.
Dix off to an outstanding start tonight with 8. Here's Bullock, guarded by Traore. Step back 3 for Bullock. He's got the answer.
Offensive end, great rotation. Didn't even touch the rim.
Came in from Niagara. Former Ohio State assistant Greg Paulus, the head coach at Niagara. They were on this network last week against Michigan State. Traore, his shot no good, but the punch out by Harding. Sanford the quick 3.
Playing the shooting guard position, and you know, when the nights when the Hawkeyes are hitting threes, he's going to get that 6, 7, 8 assists. So just a complete player. So many All-American guys can score, but can you do it at both ends?
And a nice little mid-range jumper for Sanford. He's got 5. He's 4 points away from moving into the top 40 all-time in Iowa history in scoring and passing a man they're honoring tonight in Kenny Arnold. Here's Eberwine for 3. Got a good look, and Shea Eberwine, the
shooter, is just studying the scouting report. Can't give him that much room.
Dix around the bronze screen, trying to feed it into the corner. Traore looking for 3, and the answer for Traore. Iowa is red hot from behind the arc. Now 4 of 6 from 3. Not a surprise, as just mentioned, 18 threes in the win over Southern. Inside, and a challenge by Bronze at the rim as he went up with Cameron Fens to their little brother. Two for 2 for the Dubuque.
Use wisdom, and he figured out a long time ago where the game of basketball was going. Transition and 3-point shooting. He's been one of the best in the business at it for a lot of years now.
Has been ahead of the curve as Caleb Stewart knifing to the rim for 2. There's some athletic players on this Coyotes team and a 1-point Iowa lead.
Chase Forte, Caleb Stewart, Bullock. Those guys can break you down defensively and get to the rim.
Oh, Thelwell gets to the rim for 2. Oh, big block inside from Traore. And a quick push up the floor to Thelwell. Thelwell. Low bounce, Sanford gathers and hits the 3. Boy, that's a tough pass to handle, and Price Sanford made it look easy.
but they rotated quickly and were able to get a hand up. And right now, Iowa just going with some high pick and roll action, clearing out the side, trying to break down that defense. That time they got away with the double.
And nice. A drive right to the rim for Caleb Stewart.
And that's where they were -4 in the turnover margin last year. That's just not good enough in their league. So this is a tremendous test for them. If this is how they're going to play this year, a lot of length, depth. That's a pretty tough shot.
What a tough shot. Peyton Sanford with 7. Sanford now for 3. A little bit strong. And the rebound to Shea Eberwine.
That's what we call ghost action. You slip that ball screen at the top, pop to the corner, pop to the wing, and that's as open as he'll be all year.
And the 2 from Isaac Bruns. 11 of the Coyotes from 3. Here's Sanford, swings into the corner to Cooper Koch. Rolls all the way around. Dembele with the follow. It won't go. Got his own back and put it in. And a timeout taken by South Dakota. 5:49. It's ranch dressing. Sanford.
Yeah, just look at these moves right here by Sanford. Look at that.
And he draws them.
Big-time weight room programs. It's just can you imagine?
And with that free throw, Arnold Classic, where they're honoring the former Hawkeye legend. Shea Eberwine inside, gets the contact, gets the bucket, and he'll go to the line for one more on the second foul on Peyton Sanford. Strong on the attempt at the three-point play as Traore gets the rebound and clears it for Iowa. 6-point game, 5 to play in this opening half. Here's Dix inside as they break that pressure, and Dix draws the contact and a foul. 2 on Burchill now, and Josh Dix heads for.
I mean, he can put it together. He's been awesome in this game to the rim, and that's a perfect example for Iowa how to break pressure. You see the double coming.
Head to Dix. Well. Back out Dembele for 3. And Laji Dembele with his second 3 of the season.
It just seems unfair, right? You're trying to find shooters and wing players, and the 5-man comes out and knocks one in.
But a good answer from Caleb Stewart. You mentioned it. He led the team last year with 66 made threes, and he shot 47% away from home from behind the arc.
That's about as good as it gets in the country, and that shot looked better. He's got such good handles.
Here's Harding, the open man, barely ripples the twine with that 3. Threes on 17 attempts for Iowa in this first half. Trying to answer is Stewart with a 3 off the inbound. Nice play drawn up on the timeout. For you sticklers at home in the arena, it's 4.8 seconds. I know we don't get to the tenths of a second on our shot clock graphic. Traore, doesn't matter how much time's left on the shot clock. That one's up and down quickly.
Just a mistake.
91 of 97 non-conference games at home with the pocket picked and taken away from Harding. Another turnover. Stewart to the other end. Quick as a hiccup to the rim for 2.
Very smart move. Just put your shoulder down and attack the rim. And can they find the Iowa shooters at this end?
Traore's starting to feel confident right now. Bullock the rebound off the miss. And now Bullock around the Fenn screen, hits the 3, and here come the Coyotes back within 6. Traore trying to clear some space. In the corner, Kingsbury. 3 won't go, and a foul underneath on Caleb Stewart. Play tonight. Oh well, can't get the front end. Coming up on a minute to go in this first half, and it's a battle right now for the Hawkeyes.
Big possession, some drag screen here. You don't want to settle for a long 3. They've had luck driving it to the basket.
Jumper dies and goes around the world before. 7-0 run for the Coyotes. Traore driving inside, poked out of his hands. He was on his way up. It runs right to Dix for the 2-hand flush. A fortuitous bounce indeed for the Hawkeyes.
Changing momentum right there. One shot here, 17 seconds to go. You got to imagine it's going to begin and end with Caleb Stewart here down the stretch.
Stewart working against Harding. Stewart trying to find space. Feeds it up top to Bruns. 4-3. Won't go. Traore the rebound and a timeout.
If you're South Dakota, you don't want to foul.
Comes middle of the floor, gets it to Sanford. Half court, he raises the iron, no good. And halftime arrives in Iowa City.
Like you said, brothers.
When you talk about Kenny, and we've talked about him tonight, and we saw all the guys come out in their shooting shirts with his number and name on them to start off this game. Laji Dembele gets Iowa started in this second half with a baseline jumper. When you look at the life that Kenny lived, it was a life that was marked with greatness on the basketball court in his time at Iowa, but it was not an easy life for Kenny post-basketball career, was it?
No, it wasn't. And, you know, basketball, I'd be remiss if we didn't at least mention how good he was.
Oh, absolutely.
Because, you know, he guarded Isaiah Thomas and Magic Johnson and Trent Tucker. And, you know, there were some really good guys back then that we got the pleasure to see. But then he's, you know, working to be in the NBA, and then he finds out he's got brain cancer, and that's just devastating.
Kenny comes up to him after a game, mid-80s, and Bobby doctors just wouldn't let him fail. And
by the way, Kenny's playing with a broken thumb that year and still leads the team in scoring. A remarkable story for an era of Iowa basketball that is still fondly remembered by Hawkeye fans everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, I'm biased. Brookins, who might have had the sweetest jump shot I've ever seen. But Kenny guarded the best guard every time and could shoot the 10 to 15-foot jump shot like nobody. And he could go to the block and take care of people, too, because he had a way of using his...
Hearing your story and the testimony of Kenny Arnold, I know all of you guys were glad that you stayed Hawkeyes.
You know, and I think, you know, that's the one thing that football, basketball... the wrestling program here.
We've all heard the adage that no one's really gone when someone is there to remember them. And you and his friends who are still here to remember him are really helping keep Kenny alive and keep the memory of Kenny Arnold alive for a brand new generation of Hawkeye fans.
You know, I think that's so...
That's the start to the second half. You just could not afford.
Ball poked away. I think he could have just kept that into the front court. Instead of turnover, Sanford for three. It's good. And the Hawkeyes are starting to pull him, get it to him. And now they'll set up in the half court. Here's Mulvey. Underneath. Mulvey waiting for traffic to clear on the two-hand
footing. Went up and snapped it. Good minutes out of number 44.
First two tonight for Mulvey. And a foul, Sanford.
Great battle.
Hopefully Owen Freeman feeling a little better. Under the weather tonight. He's not playing.
Was injured in the summer. Luka Garza came back to work with him, but he couldn't work out. So
Oop got tangled up on the side of the rim, and the ball pinballs into the hands of the Hawkeyes and Sanford. Harding will push it up the floor. The alley-oop of his own, and this one finds a home with Traore.
7 does. He is a tremendous athlete. Lives above the rim, and what a no-look pass. Brock is so good at that.
Good post feed inside for Ashton Smith. Do a little bit more of that, too. He's a tremendous athlete. Had some big games in his career at Manhattan College against good competition. 16 points, 8 rebounds at Allen Fieldhouse against King.
Keep your hands straight up. Even if there's contact, you can usually get away with that. If you bring them down, the officials are just trained to blow the whistle. So great job keeping him up in the air.
Bryce Sanford to the elbow. Got the kind home roll.
You got Josh and Price just taking their defender one-on-one, little spin moves, fadeaway shots. That scouting report is tough when you play against Iowa. So many offensive weapons out there.
Boy, you like what you see from Caleb Stewart. You can see why they...
First 4 minutes of the second half. Just get away from them.
Close game at halftime as Mulvey spins baseline. Traore thought about the three. He'll get into the paint instead and float up a 2. Double figures now for Seydou Traoré with 10. Stewart the 3. Rattles it home. Caleb Stewart continues a solid night. But a 17-point Iowa lead and a foul on Dre Bullock.
To see their sons here wearing the black and gold, truly amazing. I mean, Carter earned a scholarship this year. And the Cook family, just physicality, sets hard screens, wears defenders down.
Well, last year, South Dakota was in the bottom 5 in block shots. They needed a guy who could be a rim protector, especially as Mulvey lays it in, especially if you're going to press.
In the spot up 3, and you're just playing catch up the whole game. And coaches are yelling at you. You got to close out, but it's hard to do when that wave is coming at you.
We've not really seen much from your other key tonight from either team as far as transition offense. Here's Thelwell on the drive to the rim, and the elevation for the 6'3" transfer from. And the rebound for Burchell. Blocked inside by Traoré. Stewart. Burchell will try once more. A piece of that, but it was enough to force it in. With some physical play, it ends up with South Dakota. On the run is Everwine out to Bruns. The 3 rebounded by Mulvey. You mentioned it's some good minutes for Riley Mulvey tonight. Thelwell. Oh, the Euro step to the rim for 2.
Well, they want him to play faster, to attack the rim. Such a table setter, but he's got to use his athletic ability, and he's every game so far getting a little bit better, more confident going to the rim. But you're right, big number 44. I mean, Owen Freeman's not in there. Everybody else had to step up, and so far so good.
Hawks have outscored them 32-19 in this second half with that 3. Mulvey cannot finish it. Everything but the bucket for Mulvey. And now a takeaway. Thelwell to the other end. Going up for one-hand dunk and instead is fouled by Everwine. 2 free throws coming.
To learn this offense, it's complicated. So they've up against Power 5 competition, and he's going to be, along with Brock, that big X factor, that point guard position this year. They're going to have to get a lot out of that, and just already put together a highlight reel. Last time out, he was drilling 3s, so you know how difficult that's going to be to scout him.
Yeah, he's shown he can get to the rim, cut through the defense, hit the 3. And he has played a lot of college basketball. The transfer from Morehead State is a foul.
Got to hit these shots with the clock stopped.
And he misses the front end of the 1-and-1.
That one hurts.
Dembele with the rebound, and now they'll try to press. Hawks have handled that press pretty well. They do it again. And the press break in the corner. Koch's 3 won't go, and Bullock with the rebound. Now the Coyotes with numbers as they push to the rim, and the layup is there for Chase Forte. Second half, they're regressing to the mean a little bit, but still a very good second half for the Hawkeyes as Smith misses from point blank with the hook. Here's Thelwell. Koch driving baseline, gets to the rim. That'll break the seal. First bucket tonight for Koch.
Yeah, smart move, right? The 3's not falling. Put it on the floor and attack the rim.
You know, Hawkeyes averaged 83 points per game last year, Jess. They're going to get there and beyond in this game, it looks like. Consistently one of the best offenses in the Big Ten, and Traoré providing another highlight, slithering to the rim for a pair. He's got 12 tonight. Burchell with Bruns at the top, and Bruns rolls one home.
Open court, he's going to be something special to watch.
Now maybe he'll give a show to the folks in Moline on Friday night on the Big Ten Network. That's a show. Dre Bullock bulls his way inside. He's got 8. Hawkeyes in this second half still 16 of 24 from the floor. Cooled off from 85% down to 67.
Falling on the road, tough to compete against a team like Iowa when you're not hitting those.
History for South Dakota in this regime doing this. This is a brand new thing that Eric Peterson thought they needed to install to really give themselves an edge in the Summit League.
You have to have depth to be able to go with that system, and they do have depth. So it's nice to know all 10 guys, when you come to the arena, you're going to play. So you need to play hard in the minutes that you get.
21 now for Caleb Stewart. Came in averaging just 7 points per game. He'd had a toenail removed before game one, and Eric Peterson, the head coach, said that really threw off his offensive game out of the gate, as you might imagine. Hard to land on that toe. Fell well. And the dish for two for Dembele. Peyton Sanford.
Got the missed front end of a 1-and-1. You got the missed dunk, a couple layups.
It all stacks up, doesn't it?
You know, you got a chance to cut this thing down to 10, 12 points and missing point-blank range.
Oh, what a follow. Cooper Koch out of nowhere with a two-hand flush. To the other end, counted and one. Caleb Stewart blazing to the rim. He's got 23.
Rick Pizzo might have to talk about that play tonight. Looked like a young Robbie Hummel. That's who he reminds me of.
A young Robbie Hummel?
Yeah. He's got a lot of Robbie Hummel in his game.
I've seen some of those black and white videos of Robbie playing.
Yeah.
Underneath to Koch and the two. They move a little faster, you know.
You just...
Right. You look up and...
Yeah, he's got 20 points. Not even sweating. Doesn't get too high or low. Goes down to the other end, locks up, scores. There's the dig, just caused the travel.
Oh, and Fens with the two-hand flush. Dix will back it out. 10 on the shot clock. Dix to work. Thelwell, step back three. Ooh, splash for Thelwell. And a look to the crowd as Thelwell puts it down. He's into double figures now with 11.
Thelwell's arrived. I mean, whatever he had to pick up, he's picked up.
Trying to answer is Stewart, and he does with Harding right on him.
It'll be interesting when Owen Freeman comes back, right? Because you're playing basically 2 fives together. The first 2 games with Dembele and Owen Freeman. I love the spacing of playing the 4 guards and forwards around one big. This team has been really fluid tonight. Spread the court just like this. You go high ball screen. Look at all these shooters around. You kick it out. That's just Iowa basketball at its finest.
Boy, that is ball movement and the finish for Dix. Half and for the game, Iowa now 13 of 30 from beyond the arc.
Now, this is a good South Dakota team that's been locking a lot of teams down, scoring at will, and great adjustments by the coaching staff at halftime. Push the ball down the center of the court, attack the rim early.
1 minute remaining. Here's Eberwine against Koch, and a foul on Cooper Koch, and that'll send Shea Eberwine.
Playing so many new teams, new faces.
Week that we get a couple of Big Ten on Big Ten games to kind of
night, but just couldn't get stops, especially early in that second half.
We'll count the bucket for Eberwine and a foul. In March.
Yeah, just so much pressure on that game, right? Getting the right seeding, winning that game. They knew they were going to have to shoot the 3 well on the road here, and it just was not the case. But you can see the potential of this team. Great job recruiting, building the type of roster that they want.
Harding will back it up. There's about a 0.8 of a difference between game clock and shot clock, but the Hawkeyes can almost dribble this one out. Harding will step back for 3. Way off the mark, but there's Cook there for the rebound and the putback. And what a way to finish as Jacob Cook gets 2 on the board to close it out. 96-77, the Hawkeyes with the win over South Dakota.
We got a Koch, a Cook, and a Kingsbury to finish out the game. The 90s are back, Kevin.
The 90s are back, and the 96 on the board for the Hawkeyes.